Здравствуйте. Здравствуйте, дамы и господа. Сегодня мы отправимся в неведанные доселе мистические миры, которые откроет для нас Золотой Орден. Ну, кстати, на самом деле, ребята, вы удивитесь, но в ряды масонов достаточно легко вступить. У меня была такая возможность. Но проблема в том, что это не просто, знаете, типа сообщество по интересам или какой-то тайный клуб. Это все-таки околорелигиозная история. Чем они занимаются? М, Ну, то есть это организованное общество, которое занимается... Сейчас. Которое занимается
What
собственным
can I do for
развитием.
you, sir?
Ну, то есть... Сейчас, погодите. Чуть потише надо сделать. Ну, то есть вот есть общество, да, и
I
у
am at
них
your
есть
service day and night,
главный...
sir.
Да, Антон Фиг. Насколько я помню, ну, не обязательно христианином, а надо просто верить в Бога, то есть нельзя быть атеистом, скорее.
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If
Не знаю,
sir would
какая
like
она
to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor,
Спасибо.
I
Я
would
ем
advise
шоколад
sir to
горький.
pass through the portrait gallery. May I help sir in any other way?
What's on the first floor?
The first floor is reserved for guests, sir. That is where sir will find his private rooms. The main corridor leads around the building. 3 stairways will enable sir to return to the ground floor. It is also from there that sir will be able to reach the second floor.
Thank you very much.
Anything else, sir?
Yes. What can I find on the
Well-
second floor?
That floor is strictly reserved for Lord Mortimer, sir. In the west wing on the second floor are his private chambers. In the east wing are
Ну,
the rooms reserved for Lord
Там все,
Mortimer's
насколько я
personal
понял,
guests.
изначально
At
строится
the
так,
moment,
как будто это
these
просто
rooms
по
are
интересам,
reserved for Sir
действительно.
Holmes, sir.
Когда
But
ты
only
поднимаешь свой
authorized
градус
guests may
участия,
access that area. Does sir have
то
any
тебе
more questions?
открывается все новая и новая информация о том, о чем они на
As I was
самом
unable to
деле,
bring my personal effects with me,
о чем они
I
на
was wondering
самом
if you could
деле,
find me a few items.
и
Of course, sir.
как бы и
What
про
would you
что,
require?
и что они считают об этом мире.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
Так, якорцы, что такое якорцы? Что за якорцы? Кармелитского ягода? Мне мед нужен. Кармелитская вода.
A little Carmelite water would do me a lot of good. Could you find me some, please?
Oh, the tonics are under lock and key, sir. Lord Mortimer only allows access to them in cases of emergency.
Listen, I suffer from terrible migraines, and the voyage by boat has brought on my rheumatism. So, unless you have anything else to alleviate the pain, please give me some quickly. Thank you. Oh, and the one from Bordeaux, right? I prefer it to the one from Paris.
Immediately, sir. Here. I hope sir will get well again quickly. Anything else,
Отлично.
sir?
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
No point in lying, you know. I know full well you haven't got any.
I would never think of lying, sir. I don't believe I am authorized to give it away, that is all.
Amber? Here? I'd be surprised.
Yet I assure you, sir,
No, you're pulling my leg. I don't believe you.
I wouldn't dare to joke with sir.
Yeah, sure. You're just leading me on. I dare you to show it to me, if you really have some.
Well then, sir,
Okay.
here is a piece.
Ah, right. Well, I'm impressed. Can you lend it to me for a minute?
Of course, sir. Here.
Wow.
Спасибо.
I can hardly believe it. Well, I have other questions.
Of course, sir. But, sir, I believe you haven't given me back the amber, sir.
What? What amber?
The piece I gave to sir.
No, I don't know what you're
Опять не
talking about.
пашет.
You really ought to look after your things. It can't be...
Так. Ну, это Donation Alert, что я могу сказать. О. Ого.
Да ты чё? Ой, мама пришла.
Ничего не произнес. Ну скажи хоть.
Да ты чё? Ой, мама пришла.
Не хочет говорить.
Балдурус Гатетри.
Ну, наконец-то. Булдурус ГТ-3. Булдурус ГТ-3. Не зря я вчера 5000 ему написал. Так, ну что... Не, во-первых, это окупилось. Это сразу же окупилось. Спасибо большое, аноним, неизвестный мне. И внезапно появившийся вражок, который сказал, что не работает оповещение. Спасибо тебе, аноним. И вражок, который мне напомнил о том, что оповещения не работают. Да, ты вовремя, вражок, спасибо.
Easy to come across amber in these...
Благодарю. Спасибо, ребята, спасибо. Блин, вражок. Да и другие, на самом деле. Вы меня радуете в этом месяце. Приятно. Спасибо большое. Чувствую себя стримером вновь.
Well, does sir desire anything else?
Так, якорцы.
Oh, I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing.
Would you happen to have any devil's thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against sir taking any.
Don't worry, my good man. I know the effects of devil's thorn very well. I've been taking it for years without any adverse effects. I've never had cause to complain. You can believe me.
That is well, sir. Here is sir's herb. What else can I do
Че,
for you,
без
sir?
звука, ладно. Я сказал спасибо.
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
The Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir, and I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to
Раздеваем
restore.
его максимально. Да он и то слаб. Ну, давайте
Hang
манипулируем.
on, but it's mine.
Beg pardon, sir?
It's my book. I'm telling you, it's my book.
With all due respect, sir, I hope sir will understand that I have doubts. You see, I found it in Lord Mortimer's library.
Huh, there you are then. That's exactly where I left it.
I am quite put out, sir. I don't know what to say.
In that case, I suggest you say nothing and hand it over.
But
Now.
But sir, Very well, sir. Here you are. May sir take good care of it. It is damaged.
And you've damaged it
Okay.
as well? Well, bravo. Bravo.
No, I didn't do
Развели.
anything. It wasn't me, sir.
Say pardon.
Pardon me, sir.
Very good. There were some other things I wanted to go over with you.
Какая жесть, какая же он тварь, вы посмотрите, еще просит, он говорит, извиняйся. Какая ж ты тварюка, а? Ну, это я, конечно, за него играл, но... я не то... А, нет, ну все нормально. Все правильно сделал. Идите в красную гостиную на первом этаже. А где красная гостиная? Слева или справа? А, вот она, да. Блин, вот это я понимаю. Я тоже так... Почему у меня нет таких друзей, которые
Dear
устраивают
friends, I bid you
роскошные
welcome.
пиры?
I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of
Friedrich
Frederick
Wilhelm.
William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French
Лейтенант, видите,
Revolutionary
как вы
Army.
молодые.
And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal
Похож, да,
Judge.
похож на судью.
Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
My friend,
I'm not sure if I understand this.
Так,
Peru looks totally out of place here.
Where did you find
He's
it?
counting the 10 sets of cutlery around each plate? The man is completely lost.
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the King's table. I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself.
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will always be a refuge for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, but London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
это правда.
Oh, my friend.
Но они так не
I am
сделают.
shaking in my clogs.
A Prussian-Britannic coalition is not good for France. The last time we fought against them, our empire went up in smoke.
is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauternes, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have
Я
taken a
подносил изменить
liberty on
первичную
a
карту и
slight
надеюсь,
deviation
ничего
from the rule,
против.
but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same
Мне
great
нравятся те же
varieties
сорты,
as
что...
you. I remember the last time we tasted that nectar here at this table. The finest minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank,
Во время последней
the
встречи
orphanage in
при
Bloomsbury
Блумсбери
was
был
still
все еще
in ruins.
разрушен.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small
Плюс за пару дней
effort.
до Рождества.
The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say.
Сделал девочкам замечательный
You have given the
подарок.
girls a
Спасибо.
wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mentioning that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Она сирота, получается. Психология
Is everything
слабость.
all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence,
В
but
смысле, а
here I
вроде у
am
нее не
again.
были проблемы с психологией как раз. Давайте
My lord,
познакомимся.
I only know the prestige of your name. Might I have the honor of getting to know you a little better?
You are Monsieur
Louis Moras de Richet.
de Richet. De Richet. A name with a nobiliary particle. Are you descended from a noble line?
Please, go ahead.
The
Так.
presence of a particle does not necessarily mean a person belongs to the nobility, nor does it prevent the observance of the rules of etiquette, Monsieur von Volner.
Not really, no.
Так.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Oh? And right he was too.
What do you think, madam? What is this Bonaparte doing here?
The presence of a soldier is never a good sign.
Что война не
It only means
закончится.
there's going to be further war.
Please, go ahead.
To answer your question, I only know that his
Поддерживали
family
это
were in
едва не
favour of
стоило им
revolution,
жизни.
and that it almost cost them their lives.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Monsieur de Richet? It would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
Так. Вот как это делается, ребята. Я просто никогда не знал, как это... Каким образом это происходит, так сказать.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order, through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord
Лорд
Mortimer
Мортимер сообщил,
assured
что
me
теперь
that you are
поставки
to
следуют в
take
связи с
over the
вами и
project
вашей
on
матерью.
behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply
Но мне
sorry
срочно нужно
about
завершить
their
то, что организовался должным
disappearance,
образом.
but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still,
Впрочем,
this is a bit
продолжайте.
hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know
Что вы на моей
if I can
стороне.
count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
Так.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement
Работало. Не сработало. Еще раз. Я готов слушать эту вещь, честно. Не работает. В общем, что написано? Не увидел пересчета Baldur's Gate 3. Еще. Причем пересчитывает, между прочим. Вот, пожалуйста. Спасибо большое. Большое спасибо, уважаемый.
1000 louis d'or for
Спасибо.
200 cannon.
Очень приятно. Дух пишет. Все верно.
Absolutely. 50,000 louis d'or in hard cash.
The offer I'm talking about was for only
Да блин.
20,000 louis d'or, Monsieur de Richet. The truth is, you really have no idea about our agreement.
А я в роут
So,
вкинул?
you're wasting my time.
Секунду, я в роут все вкинул. Нет, подожди, нет. Это неправильно. Нет, чего? Так в табличке все правильно. Ща, погодите. Я не знаю, как так получилось. Ну вот, смотри. Я просто обновил, типа, и все. Я ничего не исправлял потом. А в версии таблички все было правильно. У меня впервые такое.
I need to work with people I can
Так.
have confidence in, sir.
The exact numbers may have escaped me. I suggest you wait for my mother's return in order to manage such details.
I have one last question I would like to pose to you.
Так.
We don't know each other yet, you and I. And I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
Так.
I think what France is lacking today is a truly strong leader ready to govern her. Someone who will restore her luster, who will propel her forward so once again she becomes a proud nation respected by all. A man capable of both rebuilding the country from the inside and, at the same time, developing exterior relations. Someone with a vision, I think. The right person still remains to be found.
You're right, my friend. I hear
Отлично.
your words and I agree. Monsieur de Richer, I am reassured. I am very happy to have met
Я
you.
понял, в чем была
Lord
проблема.
Mortimer was right to put his trust in you. I hope to work with you in the very near future. I would like to thank you for your support by offering you this humble little gift.
Reflections on the Revolution in France.
Mr. Bonaparte, I thank you for this gesture, and please know that I, too, am delighted to have met you.
Отлично.
My friends, I would
Это
like
и
to
стоило
say a few
сказать.
words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that
Шарп
Lord
лучше.
Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from them. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer
Байшарм
offered to help me in
бесплатный.
my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington.
Washington is a very gifted speaker. Leave him for 5 minutes with sworn enemies and he'll convince them to be friends for life.
Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to
Да я уже
keep you
увидел, что он
amused.
устойчив к политике еще давно. Я уже прощупал эту. Не смог прочесть часть послания матушки. Это правда, да. Я мог обыскать комнату Наполеона. Опа. 8 навыков. Так. Оккультизм. Бдительность обязательно. Все шикарно. Почти все вкачал. Замечательно. Значит, следующая игра Baldur's Gate 3. Мне бы эрудицию. Ну, есть смысл этикет вкачать на самом деле. Так. Музыка похожа, знаете, на что? На PlayStation 1 была игра Bugs Bunny, потерянный во времени. Там примерно такая музыка была. Но она была более мемная, конечно же, и такая игривая, мультяшная все-таки.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle. All right, I've retrieved everything.
Мед это нам надо, да.
Circe.
Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing.
Да блин, тут плохо. Тут плохо изображено. Тогда эти с Бати поговорим.
Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless,
Понимаю.
what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was
Мне
able
тоже
to talk
тяжело
to Mr.
совладать
von Wollner.
с
We hadn't
чревоугодием.
spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
To tell you the truth, not really.
You are right. Be positive. Perhaps Sarah is in the company of Lord Mortimer, and they will both turn up shortly.
But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
Те все могут смирять меня взглядом. Чего?
If I said to you, where all eyes size you up, would it mean anything to you?
I don't know if it's the place you're looking for, Louis, but it makes me think of the portrait gallery.
There's a gallery here? Can you tell me where to find it, please?
Of course. Just go through the door at the end. It will lead into the library. Continue all the way through, and you'll end up in the gallery. You'll see it, Louis. When you get there, you'll know.
Thank you very much, Your Eminence. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
See you later, my son. Ух, этот итальянский акцент.
A swine in a salon. That's an odd choice of decor.
Интересно, это что-то значит или нет? Что, ну богато.
Has caused some debate. Who did Dosi paint? Alcina the fairy or Circe the magician?
Ну, качество картин тут, конечно, хромает. В начале игры это было намного лучше. Сколько бабочек.
Romney painted Lady Hamilton as Circe.
Цирцея одна сплошная.
Circe preparing wine. What better trap for Ulysses?
Был бы я подкованнее, я, наверное, бы понимал, что это значит.
This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Блин, рассуждения о методе я читал даже, кстати, да, реально крутая книга.
Conversion of Ulysses by Gors. Circe changing Ulysses' companions into swines.
Я даже ее читал, вы представляете?
Circe turning Ulysses' companions back into humans.
При том, что я, ну, честно говоря, очень мало книг
Ulysses
читаю.
and Circe at the table. If I were you, Ulysses, I wouldn't drink the wine.
Именно бумажные книги. Это я прям купил книгу и читал. Одна из немногих. И мне очень понравилось. Что тоже удивительно. Монетка.
Amber crystals.
Ключ с оккультным символом. Вау. Чего? Блин, это сколько нужно людей, чтобы это все содержать. Просто жесть.
Actress, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it.
Еще медок. Золотой эликсир. Мед выпьем сразу. Если я нашел новый.
Pages out of an old encyclopedia of Greek drachma, one of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the.
Жесть, сколько я книг получил. О! Наука, языкознание и эрудиция. Манипулирование, убеждение, оккультизм.
And in the Quran. Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now?
Mm-hmm.
Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of men. That's the least you could say.
Интересно, это о чем? То есть, а где появилась первая декларация о правах человека? Интересно.
Liberty or death by Regnault. Well, I'll take liberty, please. But
Свобода
I
или
do
смерть?
understand his choice. even though it seems radical.
Мгм. Телефон на зарядку поставь.
Ah, a painting by Ingres. Molière dining with Louis XIV. The king's posture is surprising. It's almost as if he's addressing someone in the assembly.
Мгм.
Allegory regarding the decoration of the rights of
Я
men.
уже посмотрел.
That's the least you could say.
Вот тут вот хорошая четкость картины. А вот там почему-то они какие-то как будто
Celia. Name
растушеванные.
means nothing to me.
Тушевка какая-то. Растушевка какая-то. Тушевка. Ты просто тушевка. Так. Гироскоп. Прошел Вейка, да? Да, прошел. Привет, Серега. Сейчас вот проходим следующую игру. The Council. Она про масонов. И про политические... Про политику, в общем-то.
Painting with no name.
Похож на этого лорда. Про аристократию. А вот и Медуза. Так, мы к ней еще вернемся.
Devil's Thorn. I'll keep it.
Мы к ней еще вернемся. Сначала обыщем все остальное.
The Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
Так, тут уже христианское. О! Марат, умирающий. Я слышал, у него были какие-то проблемы с кожей. И последние свои дни он мог только из ванны что-либо писать. То есть он был деятелем французской революции, насколько я помню.
The Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his death is near. His brain is oozing by either ear. With his brain oozing, it's already remarkable that he can feel anything. Ah, François Ier, Receiving the Holy Family, a painting by Raphael.
Любопытно.
The Fall of Phaeton, another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by lightning for borrowing his father's chariot and losing control of it. Moral, don't steal Dad's chariot.
Да.
Amber. The Company by Rembrandt.
Ночной дозор.
A meeting between Louis XIV and Philippe V. I wonder why Mortimer's particularly fond of this painting.
Филипп V — это король Англии. Так, пойдемте, а в сад мы можем выйти? Пока не можем выйти в сад. Ну ладно, погнали к Медузе.
find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern. And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand.
Так.
The statue is darker on the right-hand side. It must be often placed towards the fire, which would explain the difference in color. In that case, it would be facing the Medusa.
Отлично.
Perfect for the coup de grace.
Так. Уклонение. Или наука. Давайте.
When I see the lantern and the shield, I can't help thinking back to my childhood. Mr. Dorfer, our teacher. As soon as the sun came out, I got a kick out of distracting him with the inkwell by deflecting the light with it. I'd turn it in such a way as to direct a spot of light onto his face, not strong enough to dazzle him, but just enough to annoy him. Hey, what if I tried to annoy the Medusa with the lamp on the shield? Position it just right, and it might work.
Повернуть. Герой щитом.
The mechanism is worn here. Whenever the shield is not turned toward the sword, the machinery freezes up. The statue must have been in this position most of the time, betrayed by the marks of time. So that makes it easy. The shield must face the sword.
Да.
The origin of myths, a reinterpretation of legendary creatures. Just what I need. The text is in French on the left-hand page and in Latin on the right hand. Let's find the chapter on the Medusa.
Так,
There's an
давайте.
extra line in the Latin translation. The night light was reflected in the shield and blinded the monster. So the hero with the sword seized the opportunity and cut off its head. Hang on. This version is significantly different from the regular one. It recounts how men have always belittled women in society. Harpies, mermaids, chimera, the hydra, the gorgons. Ah, the section on the Medusa. While some of the heroes divert attention from the gorgon, the hero with the sword brandishes his weapon at the Medusa.
Так, а мне надо еще медузу куда-то подвинуть. Должен серии вспомнить легенду. Недоступно. Эрудиция. Блин, это последнее, что я не прочитал. Давайте перебором. Опа. Опа.
Whoa.
Отлично.
Rah! For Pete's sake, Emily!
You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
Oh yeah? So tell me what you're doing here.
Yeah, just like me.
Probably, but I asked the question first.
Well then, we'll pretend you haven't asked me yet.
What about a little gallantry, Louis? Come on,
Дайте,
I'm
если что вы
listening.
здесь
What are you doing
делаете?
here?
Since you insist, Duchess, gallantry obliges this. Ladies first.
You just won't give in, will you?
I'm sorry, madam. It isn't in my nature.
Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh yeah, in your dreams. At your service, madam.
Блин, у меня уже не хватает силенок. Читать надпись.
The heavenly symbols refer to Pandora's box. Emily, I'm pretty sure I've got Pandora's box.
Of course you have. You see an earthen pot and you immediately assume it can only be Pandora's box. Logical. What I like about you, Louis, is that you never fail to surprise me.
Ancient Greek, translated. It reads, the all-gifted. Could this jar be the original Pandora's box? Emily, I've found Pandora's box. It's not as impressive as I thought it would be, but that's how these things usually go.
I
Ну ладно,
detest
давайте,
that
давайте
legend.
откроем.
Once again, women are made responsible for all of the world's evils. And stop playing with that pot, you'll break it. Come on, let's move on.
Открыть
Emily,
крышку.
what if I open the jar? Would that then make man responsible for all the evils?
Try, it'll make a change. All right, can we move on now?
I do love your irony, but honestly, are you ever impressed by anything you see?
By a chamber pot? No, you really do need to do better than that.
И не развели.
A golden fleece.
It's
Yes.
freezing, hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug? It'll warm you up.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
Блин, мне нужно что-то, чтобы возыметь очки действия.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
The Gospel according to Judas, or How to Crucify Jesus as part of God's plan. You do realize that the contents of this book could undermine the very foundations of Christianity.
One more reason to leave it in the secret room of a lost manor on a private island.
Do you realize how important this book is?
Of course, but what I really want to know is how did it come into Mortimer's possession?
I was thinking the same thing about all the paintings and sculptures in the manor. I bet you've read them cover to cover.
Naturally.
Really? I'm curious. Tell me, what part stood out the most to you?
The passage where Mary says to Joseph, "Hey, you, shut up."
In other words, you haven't even opened one.
Так, извиняюсь. Возложил ноги на стол. Мне кажется, самые важные находки я в итоге
Guess what I found?
не смогу изучить нормально.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath. Do you know why laurel wreaths are used and not, say, mistletoe or another plant?
The laurel wreath symbolized glory in Roman times.
In your opinion, what kind would suit me best?
A crown of nettles.
Блин, а тут нету крапивы или что-нибудь такого.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
And how do you know my mother was interested in this room?
I didn't know, I just supposed she was. And you just confirmed it. So, do you think she found what she came for?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess,
Блин, я столько еще мог
are
изучить.
troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? How did Lord Mortimer get all this? It's just crazy.
Secret connections, money, or a well-kept family treasure passed on from generation to generation. Who knows?
That would mean some of Mortimer's ancestors lived before Jesus was born. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something.
У тебя нет меда или...
What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar. Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
Nothing. I have done absolutely nothing for you. No to this, no to that. You ask for proof of trust, but when you get it, you turn a deaf ear. You are defiant, evasive, and paranoid. Go question your own motives. I've done all I can.
All right, fine. There's no point getting on your high horse, you know. So I'm wary, I grant you that. I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's
Так.
it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese. But I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily. I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone. You have your strengths and your weaknesses. And there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
Так. Как там ее звали? Психология.
You think your scathing wit protects you, but in fact, it makes you blind. No sooner have people introduced themselves than you already see them in a bad light. You play the part of a strong woman, and yes, you are a strong woman, of course, but what I see is a sensitive young lady who lacks self-confidence. Stop adopting a defensive posture, and you'll see just how quickly new doors will open.
There is some truth to what you say. I
Конечно.
might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
I don't see us as partners for life. You won't owe me anything, you know. It doesn't commit you to anything after all.
All right, you've gone to a lot of trouble. You deserve an answer. I already have a work partner. I
Так.
know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me. But I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well,
Так.
since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is...
Мать, ваша сестра... Моя мать? Моя
It's
мать?
as obvious as it is surprising. You're my mother's hard-hitting partner.
Oh, God, do you really believe the nonsense that comes out of your
Почти.
mouth?
Well, a second ago I did. A little.
Ну, ее
Sorry,
мать.
Louis, your mother is not my partner.
Your partner must be your mother.
I would need to know who she is first.
Forgive me, I didn't know.
I'm an orphan. I thought you'd figured that out.
Да, я
No, I
тупой.
didn't know. Otherwise, I wouldn't have mentioned it.
Now you know.
Your sister. She's your partner. She's the one you're looking for.
Well, I am impressed. How the devil did you guess I had a sister? Virtually no one even knows. When it comes to getting results, you are very good, I grant you that. You deserve to know why the sight of the cameo pendant affected me so strongly. I thought it belonged to Emma, my twin sister.
Oh. Now I get
Сестра-близняшка.
why you said you had a memory for two.
Yes, you can't imagine to what extent, though. As children, everyone...
Так, мне психологию дали. Да, мне дали психологию. Секунду. Эмили. Ага. То есть они
mixed up. So
одинаковые?
one day we decided to play along. Since then, we have become one and the same. We have officially erased the identity of my sister Emma. Emily Hillsborough. The woman with two faces.
Clever. But isn't it complicated? How do you make it work?
One of us has no existence in the outside world. We share everything. First for one, then for the other. We dress the same, wear the same
Мужиков они
makeup,
тоже
we speak
любят.
the same. We've learned to act as one. When we accept a mission, we both turn up. This time, though, she went ahead, and I was meant to wait for her on the mainland. She was meant to meet Sir Home and bring back the details, so we could work out who would follow up.
And there was a problem?
She was supposed to return from Mortimer's 1 week ago. The boat turned up at Plymouth, but alas, no trace of my sister. Instead, a sailor passed me a message from home, notifying me of her sudden disappearance.
So, my mother and your sister go missing just a few days apart. That's strange. Maybe their disappearances are linked.
It's clearly a possibility, but up to now I haven't found a trace of either of them.
None of this is very reassuring.
By the way, Louis, now that you are in on the secret, you are obliged to keep it to yourself, or you will pay very dearly.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
It's time to
Хорошо.
leave.
В смысле time to live? Ну, я, с другой стороны, ничего уже и не могу там изучить. У меня все равно нету метка и очков действия.
What do you think of our first adventure?
I must admit, it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Пожалуйста, давайте поспим. Или восстановим очки действий.
Oh, she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Good evening, Elizabeth. Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do?
Конечно, с Элизабет.
Sorry, Emily, but I can't leave Elizabeth like this.
All right, Elizabeth. How can I help?
Thank you. Come on, follow me.
Да, обидно, конечно.
I really need to talk to you, Louis, right now.
Does Lord Mortimer know the mess you've made of your room?
Listen to me, damn it! My days are numbered.
Elizabeth, I don't know if it's about my mother again, but I'm telling you, you've nothing to be afraid of. She didn't come here for you.
I saw her.
Saw who? You saw my mother? When?
Just last night. I went out to walk along the cliff top and I saw her in the distance. She tried to hide right away, but I'm sure it was her.
Are you saying you recognized my mother in the middle of the night? While she was hiding?
Yes, Louis, I know it was her.
You just said she was far away, right? In the middle of the night. And the exterior of the island isn't exactly well lit.
Listen, I'm telling you, it was her.
Так.
She doesn't hesitate on her answers. She's not trembling. She's really convinced of what she's seen. Did you talk to each other?
No, she was far away. I didn't make any noise, and then she was gone.
Have you told anyone you've seen her? Sir Holm? Mortimer?
You don't understand. It's her. She's here.
Yes, I understand.
No, you're not listening. The moment I saw her, I was overcome by spasms. She's here. I'm telling you, it was her. Yes, I need something to calm me down.
No
Нет.
thanks, I'd better not.
Listen, if you want me to tell you everything, you have to drink with me, Louis. What I have to say to you is of the utmost importance.
Ладно, давайте выпьем.
I'll drink with you, but let's go easy on it, okay? I don't know where she gets her rot gut from, but frankly, it's disgusting.
You know, Louis, when I came here, it was in the hope of getting help. I've only just now realized that I've been drawn here into a trap.
Так.
Whoa, the alcohol's gone to my head.
Нет. Нет, мы не пьем.
Here, the condemned's last drink.
Elizabeth, alcohol never solves anything. I'm gonna stop now.
Listen up. You want to know what your mother was capable of, right? You want to know the reason why. Well, you're gonna have to follow me to the bottom of the abyss, Louis. Either drink or get out.
Ну все, она мне все уже.
No, I won't drink.
All right, Louis, then get the hell out of here. You're incapable of opening your eyes, so be it. Get out!
Слишком рискованно в такой комнате пить.
Why the hell did I go with Elizabeth?
Но главное, что мы знаем, что она видела
I could have spent the
Your
night
mate.
with Emily, but no. I had to go play the night with a big heart. Oh, well, never mind. Tomorrow's another day.
Да, правда. Самое главное, что очки действия восстановятся. По крайней мере, должны.
Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
What the hell's going on?
You are in deep trouble, my young friend.
Я вижу, тебя только на Твиче смотрят. Меня на Твиче не особо смотрят. Отлично. Так, эрудиция. Тикет не буду качать. Ой, ёпта. Так, что тут у нас? Из этих странное поведение и внешность. Что мы тут будем? Наука, языкознание, эрудиция. Да, это нам ничего тут. Наверное, все-таки вот так вот лучше сделать. Сейчас меня будут допрашивать, скорее всего. Угу. Если пропустите начало. Ну, давайте. Продолжим.
How many times must I tell you? You must never put your life on the line for me.
Mother has always had a fascination for Lord Mortimer, but has never wanted to tell me why.
We are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
Without your mother, hundreds of men of the cloth would have gone to the guillotine.
All I can tell you is I'm looking for my sister.
Do you believe your mother capable of torturing a child?
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother.
Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs, and Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. You will find that Lord Mortimer is not what one would call conventional, Monsieur de Richet.
Ужас какой.
Monsieur de Richet, I am arresting you for the murder of Elizabeth Adams.
Ну, неудивительно. Неудивительно, что и распятие. Или уклонение вкачать. Давайте уклонение вкачаем. А, я могу... Я могу несколько? Отлично. Этикет, логика. Ну все. Успех. Ты похож на название российского проекта, который искусственный интеллект использует.
Do you mind if I call you Louis?
Please do.
Thank you. I wish to apologize wholeheartedly, Louis. I made you cross the seas, and I wasn't even here to welcome you. When I asked you to join us here, it was, of course, in the hope that you would help us find your mother. But an act of horrific violence occurred during the night, and I do not know if this is linked to the disappearance of Sarah.
What are you getting at? What act of violence?
We found Elizabeth Adams' body in her room. She was brutally murdered, stabbed several times. I'll get straight to the point, Louis. According to the initial elements at my disposal, you were the last person to see her alive.
Yes, last night we, Do you suspect me?
I want you to tell me everything that happened last night and leave nothing out. Tell me, how did the evening begin?
I was going up to my room when I saw Elizabeth waiting for me. She was very upset, and her words didn't make sense. I thought it best to follow her to her room, as she had asked me to.
Continue.
She insisted we have a drink, without which she refused to confide anything.
What exactly did she want to speak about?
About my mother. She had just found out that I was Sarah de Richet's son. Elizabeth wanted to tell me about the horrors my mother apparently inflicted on her.
Finding out that your own parents had always lied to you. Well, that must not have been an easy thing to hear. But do go on.
I refused to go on drinking with her. She already seemed drunk and her conversation became confused. So, then she ordered me to get out. If only I'd stayed.
Don't blame yourself, Louis. How could you have known? But thank you for this new information.
Louis, I shan't hide the fact that this tragedy puts me in a very delicate situation. I cannot risk upsetting the smooth operation of our next conference.
But the case cannot remain unaddressed.
I understand. What do you intend to do?
I must reassure my guests, and justice will be done. And for that to happen, I must ask for your help.
Why is that?
You met Elizabeth. You spoke together, I believe. She trusted you. Listen, Louis. Find out who could have committed this murder. I refuse to believe that one of my guests is the murderer. I want to know who is responsible for this. And I trust you.
Мне очень интересно.
You must stop at nothing. Can I count on you?
Of
Мне
course.
очень интересно,
How would you like me
кто,
to proceed?
какая тут вообще
Maybe you could
вариативность.
start by going to the scene of the crime. Elizabeth was attacked in her room.
Так.
Do you have any suspects in mind, my lord?
I spent most of the night talking with Sir Gregory and His Eminence Piaggi, so I think you can remove them from the list of suspects. Monsieur Bonaparte and President Washington left the party after midnight, I believe. They were tired and went up to bed.
Так.
Can you tell me anything else about what happened?
Now, Louis, I wouldn't want to influence you. Get over there and form your own opinion.
Right. I'll get over there immediately.
Thank you, Louis. Now, once you've finished, come back and let me know your findings. I'll be waiting. And Louis, you've got permission to search through the guests' rooms. They've all been notified and they agree.
Мне нужен мед. Мне нужно много меда. Дайте меда. Опа. Кармельская вода неплохо. Книжка неплохо. Монетка неплохо. Нет места для якорцев. Якорцы.
Dante's Purgatory. Why does your mind presume to flight when you're still like the imperfect grub, the worm before it's attained its
Ну, если бы я с ней бухнул, в общем-то, меня задержали бы и сказали, вы виноваты во всем. Лох, мистер Лох.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
ПМТ. ПМНТ. Давь. Дань. Пень. Певе, пек. Пек. Пеп. Певе. Зек. Зень. Зена. Зепа. Зева. Дева, может быть. Дева? Нет, не дева. Зм. Так, сейчас. Зыпщ. Нет, тут явно гласные. Чтоб сби... Ну, сбы. Давайте посмотрим. Сбы. Не. Значит, вторая явно гласная. Давайте. А. Зава. Дава. Щава. Щека. 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 Щека.
Which four-letter word could open this chest?
Щека. Щепс. Щепт. Щепь. Щепь. Щень. Щенс. А, может быть, шанс? Нет, тут нету ша. Дэнс. Лада Дэнс. Панс. Так. Пань. Пана. Пен. А, пена, может быть. Нет, не пена, блин, столько уже букв перебрал. Нифига себе. Зена, королева воинов. За день, а ну-ка, ну давай, день. День, нет, тоже нет, не день. Декс. Щикс. Зекс. Закс. Пакс. Декс. Щенка. Попс. Дапс. Деп. Запа. Папа. Может, папа? Нет. Слушайте, 4, то есть 4 буквы. Первое 4, второе 2, третье 4 и последнее тоже 4. То есть всего у нас вариантов сколько? 8, 32, 32, 240. У нас 240 вариантов. Мы так перебором не сможем. Наверное. А ну-ка, погодите-ка. А вот мне интересно. А, погодите, Зевс, наверное. Или что-то типа того. Так, сейчас попробуем Зевс. Да. Но это чисто как бы из-за статуи вот этой. Так. Так. Давайте поговорим. Офигеть, спасибо, папаша.
Your Eminence, I imagine that you've heard the news about Miss Adams.
What a tragedy, my son. How could such a thing have
Да ты ее
happened?
комнату видел,
That's
блин.
exactly what I'm trying to find out. Did you notice anything out of the ordinary last night?
I saw the young French soldier, Bonaparte, I believe, hanging around near Miss Adams' room. But I would not want to get an innocent man into trouble, Louis. It's probably nothing.
Not to worry, Your Eminence. If he is innocent, then he has nothing to fear. Do you know why Monsieur Bonaparte was hanging around her room like that?
Well, I wouldn't be surprised to learn that the dashing young soldier had become infatuated with a fragile young woman who looked a bit lost. But I don't think he got a very warm welcome.
Bonaparte and Adams? But they didn't even know each other, did they?
I couldn't say, Louis. But if I were you, my son, I would talk to Monsieur Peru. You remember how violently he set upon Miss Adams.
Oh, don't worry. He's on the list of suspects.
Да, я помню. Чуть ее не избил. Говорил, что она этого заслуживала.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Так, к нему нельзя.
Good day, Monsieur de Richet.
Mr. Volner, are you looking for anything in particular? Next to Elizabeth's room?
No, nothing special.
I'd have thought this is not really the shortest way to get to your suite.
Yes, I wasn't really looking where I was going. I shall leave you now, sir. I will return to my room.
В смысле, спросить у нее все остальное. Такс. Морковка, я вижу ее. Фу. Походу, моя мать ее убила. С другой стороны, она уже умирала. Может, это очередное... Жесть. Фу. Выглядит не очень эстетично.
There are numerous marks on the body. She must have fought like a lion. It couldn't have happened without a lot of noise. There are also a number of old scars. People who scar themselves in this way generally do so to relieve some kind of psychological suffering. By trying to master the pain, they establish their self-control. Scars are superficial and were made several years ago. She wasn't trying to take her own life.
Нет, Сидора нет.
Scarring, ugh. Scarring isn't very regular, but They're mostly from old cuts.
Почему она в 18 веке выглядит как панкуха из фильмов 90-х?
She had the sigillum de Ameth tattooed on her, the symbol of the living God, written in the language of angels, according to believers. It is rare for someone to know about symbols like this at her age, unless her mother was a tutor. Symbol of Masons? What's that doing here?
В смысле, Золотой Орден это
Ancient
разве не
Greek.
масоны?
Let's see what it means. These are sacred chants intended to protect their bearer. But from whom? Or from what?
Так, торс.
No fewer than 9 wounds on the thorax, with a lot of blood. On first sight, I'd say that's what caused her death.
Угу. Да. Это очень изобретательно.
Wounds are clean and look like they've been inflicted by a sharp object. Some of the lacerations have damaged vital organs, the heart, the right lung, which is perforated. Most of them weren't given with much force. She might even have survived. But the stab in the heart, though not all that deep, sealed her fate.
Угу.
It looks as though the wounds were inflicted from a precise angle, as if the murderer was standing behind Elizabeth. Some of these tattoos are veritable works of... What's that? The skin between her breasts is different. Bloody hell! This tattoo was drawn on a page of leather and stitched onto her skin. Probably during childhood. If the scars are anything to go by.
Жесть.
The same kind of tattoo is on the rest of her body.
Ей кожу пришивают.
I see no sign of bruising on the skull. The only clue is a scar from a previous craniectomy. Poor Elizabeth, she must have been very young when she went through all that. That's torture. She also has old scars around the neck, maybe mutilations.
Да, потрепала ее жизнь.
She bled from the nose. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising. There's signs of bleeding, but I don't see any traces of bruising.
Да, зря потратил, короче.
What a strange smell.
Да чё это, алкашка?
Blood, but no trace of blows on the legs. More tattoos, similar to those on the rest of her body.
Как же мне молочков
No
действует?
wounds, but blood on the right hand. Nothing on the left except that tattooed symbol. This pinnacle's a trap. The wearers of the pinnacle thought that they were protected from evil by surrounding it inside the different circles of the pinnacle.
Так. Дайте мне меточку, пожалуйста.
Knocked over bottle of wine. Same thing Elizabeth served me last night. Still just as disgusting. I don't know what's happened to this wine, but it's undrinkable.
Нож.
The blade is short and thin. Well sharpened, apparently. It's covered in blood. Still fresh. The lower part of the handle is unsullied by blood. The murderer gripped the weapon so tight that there's no blood where he held it. The handprint indicates a small and slender hand.
Мне нужен медок.
Vials of laudanum. The label shows that this laudanum comes straight from America. I wonder if Washington's involved.
Да нахрена мне эти якорцы? Дайте мне меда. Пистолет.
A pistol? Fairly new, I'd say. And judging by the weight of it, fairly light.
Это походу мать обронила.
A tribute engraved on the barrel. To the liberators of France.
Угу.
There's a few dried traces of blood on the grip. Difficult to know for sure how they got there. It's extremely well maintained. The barrel is perfectly clean. It isn't loaded, and well, there's no traces of gunshot residue. I'd conclude that it hasn't been used recently. Right. I shall have to find its owner. Piece of fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. By the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
Дайте мне меду. Пожалуйста, я ничего не могу сделать.
A notebook, written in Elizabeth's handwriting. It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work a notebook.
Ничего не могу сделать.
It is written in a mix of several languages. Not too easy to work out.
Дайте меду.
August 24th.
Я видел.
June 11th.
Видел. И это тоже видел. Почему мне установили только 3 очка действия? Я всю ночь проспал. Что это за издевательство?
Poor girl bled to death. Whoever left that footprint has boats for feet. That's at least a size 15. Where's a size like that here? Peru? Washington, maybe?
Не, Вашингтон навряд ли. Перу, скорее всего.
Blood spatter indicates that the murderer must have held Elizabeth upright during the attack. Even if Elizabeth wasn't very big, I doubt she wouldn't have put up a struggle. It takes tremendous strength to overpower something like that.
Грому. Дайте Луи Грому. Опа, слуга тут что делает? Напугал.
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me. Has Sir finished?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Я не могу у него метка взять.
My dear Elizabeth.
Это я тоже видел.
The clock stopped at 3:54. If it was smashed during the murder, then I've just established the time of the crime. Huh. The talisman that I gave back to Elizabeth. I can't exactly say it brought her good luck.
Так я думаю, я так полагаю, что если я выйду...
What the hell's been going on here? Contrary to what most people believe, the pentagram's not there to conjure up, I don't know what.
Если я выйду, я сюда уже не вернусь, я уверен.
To point toward the top, the pentagram is an ancient symbol of protection against evil. Many esoteric rituals are based on this.
Так Элизабет уже сдохла. Зачем мне про нее что-то знать?
Shape. Could Elizabeth have been sacrificed during an occult ritual?
Дайте мне мед. Самое главное, тут стоит вот этот вот якорец.
Vials of laudanum.
Вот якорец тут стоит охренительно. Спасибо за якорец, ребят. Вы сделали мой день охренительно просто. А что-нибудь полезное будет? Короче, я так понимаю, все указывает на то, что тут был этот Ремю или Реню, или как там его, Рью. Привет. Привет, Джигурдатор. Так, я ничего не пропустил. Ладно, погнали.
Has Sir finished
I know
with
enough
this
now.
room?
Thank you.
Very well, sir. Sir may return whenever need be. I shall guard the door.
Не могу. Да блин, я же вообще ничего не смогу сейчас расследовать. Ну дайте, может у него есть мед внутри. Пожалуйста. Дайте меду. Я вас прошу, умоляю.
The signs of obscurantism.
Honey, the remedy of the
Наконец-то.
gods.
Чё бы янтарч.
The sorrows of young Werther.
Это у меня уже есть.
Text signed by von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth, I know that this book is but a small token compared to the delightful moments you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your ever obedient servant.
So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth.
Понятно.
But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol.
Golden elixir.
Мне не нужен золотой эликсир.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Так. Так, тут больше вариантов. Лапа. Так. Давайте сейчас. Жесть, 6 сложностей. Что-то значит, да?
A table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol.
Что еще раз? Какой?
Table of alchemical symbols. Someone circled the zinc symbol.
Цинк. Давайте цинк, может, попробуем.
A chest locked with a 4-letter code. Surely a word close to the owner's heart.
Если там он есть. Да, похоже, есть. Это просто. Это просто.
The alchemist is a young man.
Дайте мед, пожалуйста, еще. Я просрал очко действия просто так. Дайте мед. Опа. А он тут стоит. Смотрите-ка. Так, сейчас. Может, все-таки.
A fragment of amber. The alchemist is an old man. The alchemist is an old man.
Алхимик в старости. Ну а на кой черт мне столько, блин, очков? Если оно все равно не восполняется ночью.
What can I do for you, Richet?
Monsieur, Lord Mortimer has appointed me to investigate the tragedy that befell us last night.
Oh, yes. It's horrible. Yes. How can I help, monsieur?
Where were you last night?
In my room. I read a few ancient manuscripts before going to bed. But I didn't stay up long. I was tired.
Thank you kindly. Excuse me for asking, but did you know Miss Adams?
Oh, she... not really, to tell the truth. No.
I found the Werther dedication, signed by your hand, monsieur. Would you like to change your version now?
Be careful, de Richet. Don't push your luck. My relationship with Miss Adams was pure, and has nothing to do with you. Well, continue playing the detective as you see fit. But if I find the bastard who did that to Elizabeth, I will...
Yes! I would have preferred a simple response, but I see I have my answer now.
Так. К чему он слаб? Фон уклонение. Показывает слабость и устойчивость. Я как не понял сейчас. Или я зря это сделал? Так я вот заюзал и кажется, и что мне делать теперь? Манипулирование. Во время наведения на выбор диалога. А, понятно. Поздно, короче. Так, ну давайте подумаем. Ну, убеждение, потому что я не потрачу.
You loved her, didn't you?
That is none of your damn business.
Your feelings betray you, sir.
So what? Yes, I loved her like a moth loves the flame of a candle. That's why we could never be together.
Вы расстались. Ну давайте
I
психологию.
get the impression that your romance was over. Am I right?
So? What does it matter to you? I would never have attacked her, if that's what you're insinuating.
Who put an end to the relationship? You or her?
It was her. It was her. But what does that matter? We both agreed.
Вот и все.
Did you see how many tattoos Miss Adams had on her?
Of course. Who wouldn't have noticed?
Yes, but I'm sure that an expert like yourself must have an opinion on the subject.
I do. But she was seeking to imprison something inside her. Her own body had become a sort of prison.
She wanted to protect herself. Is that what you're saying?
Elizabeth was a flame. A candle in the night. And like all candles in the night, she was surrounded by darkness, by her demons. Call it what you will. One thing is for sure. She struggled against hell and high water, not to let her flame go out.
We finished. I'll have a look around and then take my leave.
Do whatever you have to do.
Так, ну я еще с ним могу поговорить, если чё. Коллекционные монеты. Мне нужен мед. Мне нужен мед. Погнали к слуге, реально подойдем, потребуем у него и меда, и водички. Да, блин, не можем. Есть слуги где-нибудь? Нет, слуг нигде нет. А это чья комната? Моя, что ли? А, нет, ее же. Так, сейчас. У меня еще одно очко появилось. Да хватит ее уже показывать, да, она стрёмная, я понял. Что мы там не смогли осмотреть? А, чем у нее изо рта пахнет? Но это и так понятно. А можно как-то проанализировать запах сейчас? Хотя это, по-моему, 3 стоит. Тройной сложности. Да, не получится.
Vials of laudanum.
И тут тоже не получится. А там... Так, кстати, давайте заберем якорец. А тут вспомнить...
Fabric. High quality at that. I'd say it's silk. Going by the texture and the gray hue, it must come from a dress, that kind that women of quality wear.
Так.
Color doesn't correspond to Emily's black outfits, and Elizabeth doesn't have anything quite like this in her wardrobe. Let's take a closer look.
Так.
It's a little dirty. It must come from the bottom of the dress where it touches the ground. I recognize that moire pattern. It's the same as the travel dress my mother was wearing when she left. But why the hell did she come into this room?
Она, походу, с кем-то в союзе. Матушка его. Так, а сейчас, подождите, а сейчас мы можем с ним поговорить, чтобы он мне дал что-нибудь?
Has Sir finished with this room?
No, I haven't gone over everything yet.
Sir may take his time. When Sir would like to leave, Sir has only to tell me.
Ладно. Могли бы и бесшовный мир сделать, конечно. Дайте меду, дайте меду. Мед, мед. Так, что тут?
President George Washington.
Вашингтон. Давай, Вашингтон. Пожалуйста. Хочу меду. Да зачем мне этот золотой эликсир?
Map of Vermont.
Зачем он мне? Мне нужен мед. Мед. Дайте мне меду. Так. О, мед? Да. Медок. Замечательно.
Portrait of George Washington.
Портрет Вашингтона. Свой портрет. Смотрит на свой портрет. Да, вот так. Кстати, да, там, по-моему, общий балкон с кем-то.
It looks like a note between Emily and Washington about trade deals. The English and the Americans are preparing a peace treaty. It would appear that Emily is in secret discussion with Washington about reopening trade between the United States and England. If such an arrangement came into being, France would suffer dearly.
My dear George.
Так, тем не менее, я уже потратил 1 очко. Мне нужно найти еще меда. Мне нужно еще меда. Сюда я не могу зайти.
His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi. Huh, that's me.
Так. К тебе я тоже не могу зайти, между прочим. Блин, зря я все подлутнул так рано. Так, тут кто?
Manuel Godoy.
Годой я вообще не помню, чтобы я его видел. Годуя.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
Так, Эмили. Давай, отдавай свой мед. Эмили.
King George III in coronation robes. Nice touch for the room of an English duchess. Tending children at the orphanage in Harlem. I find it a little hard to understand this painting choice.
Да понятно, она же сирота.
Dear E.
Так.
The Lady's Waldegrave by Reynolds. Painted upon the request of the Waldegrave family, in an effort to find him a husband. Displayed like meat. It's disgusting.
Почему как мясо? Это, между прочим, Тиндер того времени. Да мне не нужен золотой эликсир, мне нужен мед.
A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the
Дайте
United
медочка.
Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Блин,
Two
всё
coils
щас.
circle the lock.
2. Дайте
Letter from William Pitt
медочка,
the
я
Elder, addressed to
взломаю.
Emily. He was the devil's thorn, to be used to uncover the best disguise.
Зачем мне эти кажется сразу? Я потратил на него последнее очко действия. Как же бесит эта игра, господи.
A letter from William Pitt the Elder, addressed to Emily. A letter from William Pitt the Younger, addressed to Emily. He's the present Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. Emily has indeed some powerful backers.
Как же это бесит. Так, мне надо найти мед и взломать шкатулку, которая тут есть. Так.
The
Наполеон.
Prince by Machiavelli. A perfect read for anyone with a surfeit of ambition. That might come in handy.
Да. Политика, конечно. Якорцы опять. Да сколько тут этих якорцов, я не понимаю.
The Battle of Alexander at Issus, or how Alexander the Great triumphed over King Darius.
It's a beautiful weapon.
My dearest son.
A bicorn decorated with a cockade. It must belong to a French soldier.
Да сейчас опять как-нибудь якорцы. Обосранные, извините.
A Chinese coin, recognizable by the hole in the middle. If I remember rightly,
Конечно, это золотой эликсир.
there's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear. and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Подождите-ка, нет пистолета и вычищенный.
French actor Talma is
Amber.
Да зачем мне этот янтарь? Янтарь вообще не нужен, блин. Потому что меда не дают. И восстанавливаюсь. Блин, я ночь проспал, всего 3 очка действия. Как же меня это бесит. Просто пипец. Максимально бесит. Почему я не могу полностью... Вот если бы я полностью восстановился, мне бы хватило на все. Как же бесит, блин. Я ни о чем ни с кем не могу поговорить, потому что у меня нет очков просто взаимодействия. Зато я нашел 50 золотых эликсиров и 30 якорцов. Якорцов, извините за выражение. Якорец. Еще один золотой эликсир. Не, ну это просто издевательство. Игра надо мной издевается максимально. Максимально издевается. Так, давайте еще раз посмотрим. Может, где-то еще есть мед? Нет, походу, комната Элизабет. Элизабет. Да. Вот эта комната Элизабет. А, нет. Че это комната? А, вот этого мужика. То есть все, я обошел все доступные для меня комнаты. Так, ну давайте попробуем тогда с ними поговорить. Да, вот эта комната убийства. Давайте начнем разговорчики. Так. Вашингтон. Дай меду.
Greetings, Louis.
Mr. President, you can guess why I'm here.
Of course.
Lord Mortimer has sent me to ask you a few questions about last night.
It's... How am I going to tell Elizabeth's father that she's dead?
I know, Mr. President. I shall endeavor to find out the truth about this tragedy. I must ask you to help me, though. Please.
Find the degenerate pig who did this, Louis.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me, Mr. President, had you spoken to Elizabeth since your arrival? You know her father. You thought she was dead.
No, I didn't. And I believe I'll be taking my remorse with me to my grave. I wanted to, but I didn't know where to begin.
You can't blame yourself. You couldn't have known that her days were numbered. Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Did she tell you why she was so desperate to get some, Mr. President?
She said she had terrible migraines that wouldn't go away.
More likely for the voices she heard, not the migraines. Do you know if she had any enemies, Mr. President?
Not that I know of. I heard about her altercation with Mr. Perry, but that case was closed, if I'm not mistaken. But if in doubt, I wouldn't leave any door unopened, and I'd go and question your fellow countrymen.
Don't worry, countryman or not, I'm not letting anybody slip through the cracks. Do you know why she came to the island?
To get help, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't that right?
Indeed. Sir Gregory suggested to her father that he introduce her to Lord Mortimer to see if he could help her.
Yes, Lord Mortimer has a talent for healing, apparently. I'm not surprised Sir Gregory advised her to come.
Agreed.
Mr. President, we found a footprint at the scene of the crime.
Not a dress shoe, I hope. That's all I wear.
No, rest assured. It looks like the print of a big ankle boot. A large size, I'd say.
Perfect. That should help you, Louis. It's a clue.
Нет, ничего не получил.
Greetings, Louis.
Were you aware that Elizabeth took laudanum?
Yes. She came to ask me for some. She had finished her reserve, I believe.
Do you take it regularly, Mr. President?
Unfortunately, I do, Louis. I still suffer from a terrible toothache, and it's not likely to get any better.
Just for that, then?
Old age, my young friend. I don't wish it upon you, but you'll soon see. At my age, it's rare to have no problems in that domain.
And do you take a lot?
A moderate amount, Louis. Only the dosage indicated on the prescription of my doctor.
I shan't keep you any longer, Mr. President.
Feel free, Louis. If there's anything I can do, just ask.
Понятно, почему в душе компании. Нажрется опий и потом пристает ко всем подряд. Я хочу действовать, а мне не дают меду. Дайте мне меду. Взломать не могу, блин. Зато и потратил на сраный. Как же это бесит, как же это бесит. Дайте мне меду. Хочу мед. Такс. Давайте поговорим с женщиной.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I've come to see you about last night's tragedy. Did you hear anything about what happened to Elizabeth?
Yes, we all did. Rumors spread quickly, you know. How awful. I didn't know her well, but I hope at least the poor thing didn't suffer too much.
She didn't have time. I'm afraid Miss Adams was stabbed several times.
Good God, what a tragedy. Do you know what happened exactly?
In fact, Lord Mortimer has asked me to look into this case, Emily.
Really? Are you Lord Mortimer's snoop now?
I'm doing it for Elizabeth, not to please Mortimer.
Good for you. Quite right, too. Have you found out anything?
Опа.
Since your arrival, did you notice anything strange about Elizabeth?
Everything that happened around that poor child was strange. You saw that for yourself.
I know. You're right. I'm looking for leads to try to reduce the number of suspects.
Well, I would say that in addition to ourselves, you could also cross off President Washington. I went to see him during the night. I had some business with him, and I can confirm that he didn't leave his room all night.
That gives Washington an alibi. I'm now interviewing all the guests to establish the alibis for each person. Just so that I can cross you off the list of suspects, can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the murder?
Am I given to understand that I'm on the list of suspects?
Don't take it the wrong way, but I must consider every possibility.
Well, if you absolutely wanted to be sure of my activities that evening, you only had to join me, you know.
I know, Emily. Especially since I couldn't prevent the murder, even though I spent part of the evening with Elizabeth.
You're sure it's not too hard to bear for you?
The fact is, I don't have a choice. But I will find the murderer. I owe Elizabeth that, at least. Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I didn't take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
I found a torn piece of dress in Miss Adams' room. Gray silk.
Where's it from?
That's what I'm trying to find out. The color doesn't match any of Elizabeth's dresses, but I might not have found all of her clothes yet.
Good Lord, Louis, do you realize what this means? If this piece of dress isn't from Elizabeth, then it's... I don't have any grey silk dresses, Louis. Neither does my sister, since we wear the same clothes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to check with you.
I'm so sorry, Louis.
Thank you.
Are you all right? You know, I'm sure there's a good reason why your mother was at the scene.
Thank you, Emily. Tell me, Emily, what's the nature of your relationship with Washington?
Oh, come off it, Louis. You're not going to go into a jealous rage, are you?
No, I can assure you of that. That has nothing to do with it. You're preparing a treaty to break the ties between the United States and France.
Whatever are you talking about, Louis?
I read your correspondences, Emily.
It's not what you think. So don't go thinking there's anything personal in it.
Are you trying to break Franco-American agreements, Emily?
That's the job, Louis. We're all doing everything we can to serve the best interests of our nation. It's got nothing to do with you or us.
But why didn't you tell me about it before?
Would you have told me?
We found the murder weapon.
What is it?
A dagger, quite slim.
Have you found its owner?
Not yet. Still searching as it happens. That said, since the blade penetrated the body several times, the murderer's hand will have been covered in blood.
You think that's a clue?
The handprint was a very slender hand, Emily. Probably that of a woman.
Do you realize what that means? There are only 3 of us on the island. Bearing in mind that neither my sister nor myself had any reason to set upon the young lady, that means...
I know, Emily. I know.
Keep up your courage, Louis. I'm sure there's an explanation. You're bound to shed some light on it all.
If what you say is true, Emily, I'm less and less enthusiastic about shedding any light on the subject.
Да.
Did you and Elizabeth get to know each other?
I must admit, Louis, I
Это уже
didn't
страшно.
take much interest in her. I feel a bit guilty about it, but I never actually spoke to her. She seemed burdened by her problems, and as she wasn't invited to the conference, I didn't really seek her out.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Да, в итоге мы ничего не получили. Может, с Наполеоном получится так поговорить, что он нам что-нибудь нагенерит.
Dear E.
Пожалуйста, Наполеон, сгенерируй для нас что-нибудь.
Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte.
Наполеон, дай, пожалуйста, насыпь.
Monsieur de Richet, please be quick. We are both very busy.
Did you hear about young Elizabeth?
Indeed, it is deeply regrettable.
Lord Mortimer asked me.
I know. You no doubt want to know my alibi. I spent the night downstairs playing cards.
Can you tell me who was present at the game, please?
Well, there were Lord Mortimer, President Washington, and Sir Gregory.
Thank you.
Ah, and His Eminence Piaget as well. Excuse me, I nearly forgot him. Poor soul.
Did any of you leave during the game?
Not that I know of, monsieur. I didn't exactly spend my time noting the other guests' comings and goings, but I don't think so.
Врет.
Thank you. Did you notice anything unusual during the evening?
Nothing at all, except the luck of the devil of Lord Mortimer and Sir Gregory at cards.
Did they win much?
Oh la la, monsieur, they cleaned us out more like. But I plan on getting it all back before we leave.
What time did the game end?
I can't say exactly. As for me, I must have stayed until midnight. I was exhausted, couldn't think straight. So I preferred to go up to bed.
On your way up to bed, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, not in the least. The whole manor was sound asleep.
Not really. No. Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time.
Я не верю, что это
Now
он.
I know why. She had every reason to be worried. What an idiot I
Он
was
не
not to
низкого роста,
insist.
между прочим.
I could have helped her.
Were you able to recognize the prowler?
Unfortunately not, no. It was dark, and Lord Mortimer was waiting for me. I was not really paying attention anyway.
As any good soldier would, I imagine you own a firearm. May I see it?
Oh, well, if you really want to, here is my pistol. Don't worry, it is not loaded.
Do you have several of these?
In Corsica, oui, but not on me when I am traveling. Only a bandit would carry such an arsenal.
Thank you.
Так, у него пистолет с собой.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers. Good day.
Мед, мне нужен мед. Все еще нужен мед.
French actor Talma is Nero in Britannicus, the last emperor of the Caesar dynasty.
There's just one holster in Bonaparte's gear, and the pistol is missing. On the other hand, his cleaning equipment is in mint condition. That's typical of the soldier in him.
Ну дайте мне меда. Нет, мне никто не даст меду, судя по всему. Бесполезно найти.
Monsieur Jacques Perru?
Так, Жак Перю. Ну давай, Жак Перю.
What do you want from me, de Richet?
Greetings. It's fallen to me
Cut
that...
the crap! Get to the point. We both know why you're here.
And have you got anything to tell me?
What does it matter? It's too late anyway. Do what you have to do and get out.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Пожалуйста, медок, пожалуйста, один медочек. Один медочек. Один мед. Один мед, пожалуйста. Я знаю, кого есть мету, кого у Копатыча. Пожалуйста. Ключ с 4 кольцами. Отлично. Возможно, там есть мед в этом сундуке. Сундучке.
A pattern with 4 circles.
Так. О, нет, это мед. И мед. Отлично.
Dear Monsieur, I have no space left. I'll retrieve it later.
Нет, это кармелитская вода. Лучше бы меду, да. Наверняка вот тут вот мед. Сейфскаун нельзя заниматься, это бесит, честно говоря. Я бы за сейфскамил, уже сколько времени. Так. Ладно, давайте попробуем.
Great.
Пожалуйста.
Honey.
О, отлично, это мед. Так, пойдем взламывать шкатулку к ней. К женщине. А, не к Бонапарту, по-моему, Бонапарта ее можно взломать. Если я правильно помню. Я неправильно помню.
Golden elixir. Consume without excess.
Неправильно помню у женщины. У Эмили слэш Эмми, или как там ее сестру зовут. Так. Медок, медок, медок. Медочек.
Two coils circle the lock.
Блин. Сложность 2. Нет, слишком много. А ключа здесь нету нигде. Да, это я уже осматривал. У кого я видел со взломом 1? Может, у Вашингтона? Пойдемте к Вашингтону. Так, мы идем сейчас к Наполеону. Тут у нас кто? Пирю. Кстати, у него, по-моему... А, нет, нет. У него я уже взломал. Так. Опа. Якорцы. Да пошли в жопу эти якорцы. Просто бесят меня. Якорцы вонючие. Так, кто у нас
Monsieur
тут?
Johann van Volne.
Да, там одно я ключом открыл, а второе...
The Sorrows of Young Werther. There's a handwritten text signed by
Взломал.
von Werner on this first page. Dear Elizabeth,
Да
I
все
know
это
that
я
this
уже
book is
я
but a
уже
small
видел.
token compared to the delightful moments
Тихо.
you gave me, but I hope that this will nonetheless keep the memory alive. Your
Тихо.
ever-obedient servant.
So, Volner had a relationship with Elizabeth. But that's hardly surprising given his fondness for the occult.
Так, где там? Ну и шкатулки. Я просто не помню, где я тут. Его я уже взломал. Так, пойдемте дальше. Так, пойдемте к Вашингтону. Я просто помню, я несколько таких находил. Шкатулок, которые можно взломать. Так, это комната убийства. Так, это Вашингтон.
George Washington.
Так, Вашингтон. Где твоя шкатулочка? Показывай ее.
Portrait of George Washington.
Вот она.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Так, неплохо, неплохо. Кармелитская вода.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Piaggi.
Huh, that's me.
Комната нельзя, конечно же. Так, к Наполеону пойдемте, еще зайдем.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Годой вообще не появлялся, я его не видел ни разу.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough.
А я не помню, у нее, по-моему, тоже что-то было такое. Или я ошибаюсь? Я к ней уже заходил, возможно, и уже забыл про это. Я уже немного плыву просто. Наверное, мы на сегодня скоро уже закончим. Так, тут я уже смотрел. Да, вот тут 2. Сложность 2.
Two coils circle the lock.
Давайте взломаем. Надеюсь, это того будет стоить.
Dear Gregory.
All right. I've retrieved everything.
Отлично.
What can I do for you, Louis?
I hear you were in discussions with the Holy See.
Oh, either His Eminence can't keep his tongue from wagging, or you've been poking your nose where you shouldn't, sir.
Even so, Emily, you're raising a royalist army. That's no small matter.
And you are straying from the subject. Is there anything else you wanted to ask me?
Так.
I won't keep you, Emily. Thank you for answering my questions.
See you, Louis.
Ну, с ней реально уже больше нечего обсудить, как будто. Так. Кого еще я видел? Возможность залома, я не помню. Кого-то еще точно. Ну, Наполеон, наверное. Пойдемте к Наполеону. Специально ограничивает очки, тебе нужно вдумчиво их тратить. Ну да, вот тут вот. Если тут якорцы... Только не говорите, что тут якорцы, пожалуйста.
Carmelite water. They say that if you drink this, it gives you a real boost.
Что неплохо, неплохо. Неплохо. Кармелитская вода. Все, больше ничего нету, да? Да, больше ничего нету. Да я понимаю, что надо вдумчиво их тратить, но я Надеюсь, что если можно как-то все равно заморочиться и
Monsieur
получить
de Richet,
больше.
please be quick. We are both very busy.
Someone saw you not far from the victim's room. Can you tell me what you were doing exactly, please?
I can tell you that someone is an idiot. I wanted to warn her to be careful. You see, on the night of my arrival, I saw someone leaving her room in haste, and I wanted to speak to her, to warn her. Unfortunately, the young lady slipped through my fingers each time. Now I know why. She had every
Так,
reason to
одну
be
воду на
worried.
него
What an idiot I was not
и
to
одну на
insist. I
ревью
could have
на
helped
судью
her.
горячую.
I've been studying him for a while now, and I don't think he was lying. Yet, I'm surprised how easy it was for me to read him. It must surely be his military side. I wish they all could be like that. My investigation would be finished already.
Well, have we finished, monsieur?
Exactly. Thanks again for all your answers.
Зря потратил
Good
воду.
day.
Так. Ну, погнали к этому ревеню.
Sur Jacques Perru.
Ну чё?
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions.
You were armed the night of my arrival. Can I see your weapon?
No.
You do realize you're not helping, don't you? You're making it worse for yourself. I know you were at the scene. We will save a lot of time if you just tell me what happened.
You know nothing at all.
Enlighten me then. For now, I have your footprint in a pool of blood.
That's right. The only thing you can prove is one of my boots was at the scene. Congratulations. You've wrapped up the investigation.
Чё?
All right. Have you finished?
Not quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. I'd like to talk about the letter you're writing. What woman is it addressed to?
Who says it's a woman? I'm not saying any more. There's no point you insisting. All right. Have you finished?
Not
Okay.
quite. I'd like you to answer a few questions. Two days ago, I surprised you having a go at Miss Adams. What happened? Did you want to give her another beating? She wouldn't let you push her around again, huh?
Shut up, you little shit! You have no idea what happened, and here you are, carping away. You think you're Investigator of the Year. Have you taken a look at yourself, de Richet?
Didn't you get enough beating her black and blue the last time?
I did not!
Мне бы сейчас пригодилось.
Go on. Keep going.
Finish what you came to do, then get out of my room.
Goodbye, sir. We shall meet again.
Probably.
И одна водичка и...
Dear Miss... All right. I've retrieved everything.
Еще одна водичка, пожалуйста. Или... Не, мед меня не спасет, кстати.
Dear friend.
Мед меня не спасет.
Records of the police. Notes intended for the police lieutenant of Paris. It's a list of people under surveillance in Paris. And there's some well-known names on it.
This is valuable information. This shouldn't be lying around.
Хочется сейвскамить. Я хочу. Какая же тварь. Как же бесит, что тут нет сейвскама. Да уж, не карцы, бля.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
Так. Что, ну все указывает на этого, но это слишком очевидно, и поэтому... Не знаю, ладно, давайте перескажем, как есть. Сказать ему: чел, дай мне меду, и я все узнаю.
The nightmare painted by Fuseli in 1781.
Чел, дай мне мед. Же мне водички дай. Дай водички, я тебе все расскажу. Так. О, мед.
I've come to speak about the findings of the investigation, my lord.
I'm listening, Louis.
I'm sorry, my lord, but I don't have any evidence conclusive enough to allow me to name the culprit with certitude.
Really? I see. Well, that's your decision, Louis, and I accept it. Given the distinguished guests and the sensitive political issues involved at the conference, I trust you'll leave me to conclude the case in my own way. Right. It's time we spoke about your mother, Louis.
When I first came here, I wasn't that worried. In the past, my mother has taken a few liberties during her missions, including disappearing for several days on end.
That doesn't make me feel any better, Louis.
What was the official reason why my mother came to your island?
I knew about your mother's activities, and yours, in the Golden Order. I thought we had everything to gain by working together.
You mean the canon deal with Monsieur Bonaparte?
Among others, yes.
Так.
How did you hear about that?
Monsieur Bonaparte came to speak to me about it yesterday, during lunch.
I see. So impetuous. He was supposed to let me speak to you about it first. Our friend Napoleon desperately needed financial backing to properly equip his army. I took it upon myself to back him because I have a firm conviction that he can go far.
We shall see. However, there's one thing that surprises me. Did my mother intend to finance a war? I'm not sure that I follow.
No, your mother's aim was not so much to partake
Сколько
in
сделать
war,
Monsieur Bonaparte
but
своим
rather to make Monsieur
должником.
Bonaparte accountable. France is in turmoil, and having the support of a military man can often come in handy, Louis. You'll see. Once this deal was closed, I had big plans for Sarah.
Such as what?
You see, I've invited several influential figures on my island to present them with a project at the conference. It will be presented later today. I thought that the Golden Order had a role to play. And I still think so. I was hoping Sarah would be able to join us.
I see.
Indeed, if by chance your mother decided not to return to us before the conference, would you do me the great honor of attending? If only to follow the deliberations while waiting for her to duly take her seat.
Why not? We shall see.
Ah, thank you so much. In this way, you'll be able to keep your mother informed of what is said. There's something else I'd like to briefly go over.
Так.
Earlier, you asked me the official reason for your mother's presence here. Is there an off-the-record reason why your mother came here?
Я не знаю. Давайте.
She was looking for someone.
What do you mean?
In Paris, we were working on a smuggling case to do with occult objects. We had just arrested a dealer who intended to go to you to meet a buyer. My mother was here to find out to whom he intended to sell his stolen treasure.
Oh. What was the name of your dealer?
I can't remember exactly. Von... something or other.
Von Vollner?
No, not your friend, Mr. Von Vollner.
There's something I still don't get. In your opinion, why would your mother remain in hiding over several weeks?
I'd like to find a logical answer, but I just can't see anything. Apart from the fact that she might have lost her mind. Since I came here, I've ceased to understand her. That, plus what I've found out about her past, and I'm left with the bitter feeling that I never really knew her.
I can understand you beginning to feel that way after these past 2 days, but I'm sure all will become clear once your mother reappears. The only thing I can tell you is that Sarah had indeed changed. At the beginning of her stay here, we enjoyed spending time together, solving the world's problems.
You seem to know my mother very well, my lord. What did you talk about together?
Oh, as soon as we had a little free time, we liked to share points of view about practically any subject. We would find ourselves embarked on interminable discussions that could go from Monsieur Blanchard's flight in a hot air balloon to the Treaty of Jassy, or the adoption of the metric system in France last year, or even Mr. Eli Whitney's invention in the United States.
Так.
Ah, yes. His famous cotton gin. It was supposed to revolutionize cotton production in the United States.
It will revolutionize the world, Louis. The potential of this invention is much greater. Tomorrow, all industries will be switching to simple but large-scale production. Of that, I'm sure.
I'm surprised she didn't get you started on the Crusades. It was her favorite subject.
Are you joking? Sarah and I spent entire days together reliving them. It so happens that the Crusades are also my subject of predilection, especially the third. My ancestor distinguished himself brilliantly during the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Mother lulled my childhood with tales of the Crusades. How Richard the Lionheart and Philip Augustus had to battle it out to achieve their ends. And how Guy de Lusignan, having broken his word, launched the siege of Saint-Jean d'Acre.
Oh, I see Sarah's lessons have inspired new enthusiasts. Good on you, because not everyone can claim they know as much at your age. Your mother is a very well-read woman. You're quite lucky to have her as a model, Louis.
Yes, I know, but I'm still very worried.
I must admit, there are worse things to worry about now, Louis.
What do you mean?
Так.
Since she disappeared, your mother has been seen once. Her behavior on the evening of your arrival greatly surprised Gregory and myself. She resurfaced to attack Emma, Emily Hillsborough's twin sister. And she shot her with a pistol. Then, before Gregory could intervene, she ran off and disappeared again.
I beg your pardon? Hang on. That means my vision on the wharf, it was actually happening inside the manor.
Mother shot Emily's sister? The very person she came looking for? Why would she do that?
Excuse me, but between that and the childhood of Lady Adams, it's all a bit much for me to cope with. I need to piece it all together again to see things more clearly. You said that you spent a lot of time talking together at the beginning. What happened for that to change?
I'm afraid I haven't much to tell you. The more the days went by, the more she withdrew into herself. She never gave me an explanation. Until the day came when she purely
Игра
and simply
хочет, чтобы
disappeared.
первое Я поверил, что судья убийца. Второе. Чтобы... Я поверил, что моя мать убийца. Но мне кажется, это не то и не другое.
She would shut herself away in a room we use as a box room upstairs.
Would you allow me to go there?
Я не верю этому
Of
лорду.
course. I'll send you a servant to open it.
Thank you.
That's all I can tell you about the disappearance of your mother, Louis. I would like to have been more helpful.
I shall stay on her trail and follow up any leads.
Thank you. We will meet later on to welcome our last guest. In the meantime, I shall get someone to open the box room upstairs for you.
Thank you.
Ты пускаешь из виду третье?
Mortimer's study.
Не исключено. Зачем я собираю коллекционные монеты?
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says, we must find a safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So mother had an accomplice here. Who could it be? Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
С другой стороны, судья мог бы быть... Судья мог охотиться на нее. Да блин. Судья мог охотиться на нее, потому что он...
There's a legible fragment left. Hey, I recognize my mother's handwriting. She says,
Все
we
как
must find a
пропустить.
safer way to communicate. Someone is onto us. Trust in my faith in the man with the sword. So mother had an accomplice here.
Судья мог приехать, чтобы ее арестовать тут.
Who could she be suspicious of? I must find the next part. Faith, sword. I recognize her love of riddles there.
Dante's Paradise. Raise your head and be reassured, for what comes up here from the mortal world must ripen in our rays.
What is this disc? Oh, that reminds me of the ones my mother collects. It's magnetic.
Взять, конечно.
St. Paul on the Road to Damascus by Caravaggio.
Угу.
Caravaggio attained a magnificent command of black and the play of colors too. Paul facing an ordeal, the curtains of his illusions being raised, and receives the light from his Savior.
Ну давайте. Я не знаю, даст это что-то или нет. Рискованно, конечно, рискованно.
The door appears to be locked on the other side.
I
think I heard something fall to the ground. A metallic sound, like a key falling to the floor. We'll see if it works.
Да. Не зря.
It's open.
Так. Наконец-то.
chest with the occult symbol representing air. The drawing of the Apostle Matthew, painted by Guido Reni. He's represented as writing the word of the Lord, transmitted by the Holy Spirit, who appears here in the guise of an angel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Опа.
The New Testament. I guess I'll just come back later.
Да, попозже.
It's St. John, painted by Guido Reni. Several portraits of apostles, all signed by Guido Reni. Looks like someone touched this commode recently.
Нет, конечно,
Their fingerprints on the sheets and in the dust.
Mm-hmm. Якорцы.
Painting of St. Mark from the collection of the apostles by Guido Reni.
A fragment of amber.
Amber. Fragment of amber. Так, ну чё, взламываем.
A chest with the occult symbol representing air.
Золотой эликсир и все? Или я что-то получил? Осколки янтаря. Типа их много, да, получил?
And it came to pass in those days that Jesus came from Nazareth of Galilee.
Не, я
and was
задолбаюсь
baptized by
это
John
все
in Jordan.
читать. Ладно, знаете, я, пожалуй, все закончу на сегодня. Ой, завтра продолжим. Все, господа, спокойной ночи всем. Счастья, здоровья, любви, удачи. Плоть слаба. Завтра четверг. Может, завтра двойную киноночь устроим, кстати. Ладно, посмотрим. В принципе, можно. С четверга на пятницу, с пятницы на субботу, в принципе, реализуемо. Ладно, все, всем спокойной ночи, всем пока, спасибо, что были сегодня на этой душнине. Мне нравится эта душнина, но я еще... Я жадный, я хочу все узнать. Все разузнать. Но никто, вот и в жизни никто не дает так разузнать все. И в игре. Это обидно. Ладно, все, всем пока.